Throughout the years, I've always enjoyed building accounts and PKing on low-level builds. I've always tried to switch up the metas and try out new things both in Bounty Hunter and in Deadman mode, and this is going to be one of the accounts that definitely will be switching up the meta. This is a newbie build that we're going to be starting up with, and we're going to make it super strong and eventually get it to the point where it can use Dragon Warhammer and Zuriel Staff. The beauty of this low-level PKing is you don't need a whole lot of time to make this build. You're able to get some big loot keys, and in these clips I'll show you just that. So sit back and relax and enjoy the progress of the fun low-level PK account, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so getting right into things, we're going to start off by buying a bond and clearing out this account. So to make it a little harder, I didn't have that much cash on the account. Pretty much everything's leftovers, and there's really nothing left on the account. I wanted to start with a little bit of looting and Bounty Hunter. I always think it's so funny starting with looting. It just brings me back to when I PK, or when I used to play the game when I was like 11 years old and looted for fun. We do end up getting a couple fights while we're looting, and we're actually able to chance a couple people. Unfortunately, though, since we don't have much gear, we do end up going down. I'm not able to take this person out. Honestly, if I had a range bot here, I probably would have got him because I would have had the extra range bonus. But yeah, we switched over into some Bounty Hunter, and after we got some Bounty Hunter going, we were able to loot quite a bit more. This got us the starting cash to get us into some actual PKing, where we were able to, get some good fights and actually get our first kill of the entire series. This is going to be a pivotal kill because we need every little bit of loot we can get, and PKing for profit at this point on such a low level and low stat build is really good. So the stats on this build are mostly from last video, so we're going to need to try some things and test some stuff out to strengthen up the account to make it able to PK at these different spots. So the first spot I wanted to show you guys is actually one of the best money makers for a level 50 to 60 account. This is a place that a lot of bots are actually at, and the bots do not know how to pray correctly if you one-tick your crossbow. Later on in the video, I do have another method that's a little easier than one-ticking the crossbow, so if you stay in till the end, you'll be able to, get that tip and see how you can, secure more of the kills. Because sometimes when you're one ticking with a crossbow, they are able to get away just because you're not able to do enough damage in the half TB. Most of the time they do pray mage, so they only get half TB'd. So you kind of end up not being able to get them unless you do like 400 or 500 damage right off the bat. Another factor that I want to keep into account is I only have a couple of range levels to spare. On an obby mauler, you really shouldn't be using the range levels unless you absolutely need to. A lot of the times, obby maulers will use the range experience to either focus on important stuff like Slayer or important stuff like getting your boss cases and maybe getting some potential pets along the way. But since this account is a obby mauler that isn't going to be 99 strength 1 attack, it's going to be 99 strength 30 attack, it also gives me the potential to get a couple extra combat levels. Along with this, I do want to get smite because I feel like the Zuriel staff is going to be incredibly overpowered once I am able to smite people. This stack is incredible. Once I get to the later part of the video, I can show you the stack. The Zuriel staff, if I'm able to get all the way up to an imbued heart, I'm able to imbued heart and hit a 60 with the D Warhammer, and I can stack that with a 48 with a surge. So it is just so incredible how much damage you can hit on such a low level account, and we will see that a little later on in the video. So with that being said, I need to make a ton of money to help get all the progress we need for the account. Not only do we have to pay 5 mil for the Zuriel staff, the Dragon Warhammer is around 11 mil. So we're going to need to get a ton of these bot kills. And one of the bot kills that actually helps out is once we get the smite, we are able to start getting some good kills on people. We get a kill on a bot for an Avarice, and then right here we switch over and get one of our first fights versus an actual PKer. This PKer, as you notice, is quite a bit higher combat level than me, but I'm able to get a cheeky dragon crossbow spec, and this is probably my first time ever killing someone with the dragon crossbow spec. I just did not expect to get this kill, and it ended up being a pretty good kill. It was 2.2 mil, which is huge at this point in the series. That's probably like a fourth or fifth of my bank right there. And yeah, these rev bots are just such good money. So with the rev bots being such good money, I would say every time you kill them, it takes about 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at most if you get the full TB and you have to go a little distance on them. But you get about 400 to 500k per kill. Sometimes if you're able to smite them, you're able to get even more. So right here, I quickly sell off some of the loot, to get some original starter cash, and we're going to upgrade this set. The reason we want to upgrade this set is because we want to be doing more DPS to these botters. As of right now, I don't have anything but range and mage, so I want to get as best mage bonus as I can to make sure I can secure all the freezes. That way we're able to keep printing, and then I'm able to sell off even more loot. So we got a nice stack of loot, we sell it all off, and we get another 6 mil. This is able to afford us one of the last upgrades for the range and mage setup, which is the archer ring. This will push us into getting even better bolt hits, and I think it gives you 1 max hit. Not too crazy, but the accuracy is good as well. The accuracy doesn't matter too much because most of the time you're attacking peers, but every once in a while you get some 40 defensors with low HP, so the accuracy does help out a lot in taking those people out. So I didn't want to only have one moneymaker, and I wanted to get some quests and some stats on this account to help beef up the account a little bit. One of the important stats I wanted to get was 77 Herblore, and I also wanted to get a couple early quests going. These early quests are all to get 750 total and a 30 quest point requirement for LMS. And later on in the video, I'll show you how profitable LMS is right now. So after this, I was finally able to afford a decent Pking set. This Pking set probably cost me a little under 20 mil. The Dragon Warhammer is the most expensive part. I do end up going down right away because I'm a little rusty, but then we were able to, turn it around a little bit and shake off a little bit of the rust. All we've been PKing is bots lately, so we aren't really used to PKing actual people that are fighting back. So, we got to switch it up and get back to it. And I'm able to get actually a good amount of smites on this account too. The amount of people that are 31 prayer in this combat bracket to keep their combat down is high, so you are able to get some clean smites versus them. So a lot of people that fight me, sometimes they won't even let me smite because they just won't fight me regardless because of it. One thing that you do want to look out for though is the bounty hunter crates. The bounty hunter crates are incredible for making some profit. Right here I am able to chance somebody for a good amount, I would say about 10 mil, but the bounty hunter crates are huge. There's something that, even if you kill someone huge like this, you'd make less because the bounty hunter crates make more. Right here, I do end up making a pretty big mistake. I end up dying because I ran out of runes and I just walked right at this person as I went to hit them. So I ended up scuffing myself and totally going down. So with this death, it actually motivated me to do a couple more quests. I was able to get the 750 total and then the 30 quest points to unlock LMS. Honestly, a pretty low requirement, especially for an early account. You could probably get that done in, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 days of like grinding it out pretty hard. What we do end up doing here though is we have to end up going back and killing a couple more revs botters, but the rev botters that we do kill, I end up finding out a different method for killing them that is a lot more effective. This method is so super easy, and I bet it still works. I doubt the botter patched this, but for right now it doesn't register the Dragon Warhammer as a weapon. So right now you can just switch to a major range weapon, and then after that you can just Dragon Warhammer them, and you can just hit them over and over again repeatedly, and they will always go down. Basically, you're pretty much guaranteed to do the 500 damage and a half TB because they're on a pier. So a lot of the times I'm even able to get them before they even leave the cave. So this ends up generating us a good amount of money. We sell off a good bit of the loot, and this gets us back on our feet after that huge death. What I want to do is buy back that Zuriel staff. Losing that 5 mil was a bit of an L. And I also have to get 77 Herblore. This is something that costs a fair bit of money. I would say 77 Herblore had to be over 10 mil. So I had to kill a lot of red bots. I kind of left it out, but I did kill a lot of red bots to kind of make up for some of the deaths that we got in Bounty Hunter. Really just one big death, but yeah, these red bots are like my main money maker, and they are an absolute printer for me. I honestly, I love this spot more than any other spot for killing bots. They're just so easy to take down. They go down in milliseconds, and I'm able to just take out huge amounts of them super quickly, and I can sell off all the loot at once to make some huge profit. So another thing I wanted to try on this account and see if I would have any bit of luck with it would just be PKing with the simple MSB into the Dragon Warhammer. It's a combo that's a little bit easier because you're able to one tick because you have the spec bar with the magic short bow. Also having the faster tick weapon helps with stacking out the combos. As you can see, sometimes you're able to stack the arrow hit and the Dragon Warhammer on the same tick, so it stacks all at once and looks pretty clean. I think if you're off PID, the person is able to eat it, so you kind of want to watch to see if you're on or off PID for that. Just a quick little tip. And then we are able to upgrade into our one of our final setups for killing the bots. This is a setup where basically we have nothing but mage, a little bit of range that we're not going to use just in case we get hit by a PKer, but we're mostly going to be focusing on the Dragon Warhammering of it. I actually do die here, a funny little bot death, but we are able to get back and get the loot, so not the end of the world. The bots, if you do double death in any regard, you can go back and get the loot. We do run into a couple more PKers up here. When we do run into PKers, I'm actually surprised that I'm able to fight them because a lot of them are level like 70 and 80. But the people that PK here, I don't want to flame too hard, but they really aren't the greatest. They're killing like low-level botters, so they're really not like, expecting to run into other people. So we are able to get some pretty good loot. Over this kill, we are able to get like a 2.5 miller, which is not too bad. And that brings us up enough where we can afford another one of these Zuriel staffs after we spent all that money on Herbler and all that. And the Zuriel staff is just so good. Right here, I'm able to hit a cheeky 54, and we get a pretty decent crate off it. The cash and supplies you get from the crate help is so much for Bounty Hunter. I cannot be more thankful for how nice it is to have crates into the game. Even if you do die a lot, I think you are able to make up for a lot of those losses with those crates. So you are able to run into some people that are also risking a good bit too. Like there's some people with red skulls that you're able to chance like left and right. Unfortunately here I did just get a chance, but I'm not able to take them down. Yeah, it's just kind of how it goes sometimes. You just have to play your moments out right. And the real thing about BH fighting and all that is you just want to try to maximize the amount of chances you have on people and try not to die, like right here. So right here, I did end up dying for another Zuriel staff after this person's risking probably like 15, 20 mil. So I totally blow the bag here. And we end up having to do a little bit of Slayer, something different that is going to switch off the account. I wanted to do one last final big grind on the account here. We did the 77 Herbler grind, but the next grind I wanted to do is Slayer. Here's a little method that you can use for safe spotting the Revenant Knight. It is nice if you do have a Slayer task here. You can do it on a pier. Makes it super easy to get the kills, and yeah, we are able to get a good amount of Slayers. The main Slayer level you're going to want to aim for on an Obby Mauler is going to be that 55 Slayer. I know it's not as big of a deal for a 30 attack account, but for a 1 attack account, it's really good to have that Slayer staff, and it is just like, I would say it's like an icon for any Obby Mauler to have 55 Slayer. So right here we were able to get 50 Slayer. One of the greatest tasks for Slayer is cannoning greater demons. Honestly, in a lot of Obby Maulers will see me cannoning and think I'm an absolute idiot, but we do have a lot of range experience to get on this account, so I do not mind it too much. So, after finishing off that huge goal of 55 Slayer, I had one final thing to do on the account, and that was Horror from the Deep. I want all the books because I'm able to get 2 strength bonus off the Book of Bandos, which is really good, some mage bonus from the Book of Darkness, some overalls for some, and all the books right now are super cheap. It's incredible how cheap they are. So we actually pop back and do a little bit more BHPKing to end off the video. So I'm going to get a couple more kills here, but I did want to talk about the series a little bit. All in all, we were able to get a decent amount of GP. Yeah, like we did make a pretty good amount of GP. I'll show you guys at the end. We had a couple of bad deaths along the way, and we did have to pay for Herblore and Prayer and a couple other things. So all in all, I would say I ranged anywhere in the range from maybe 20 to 40 or 50 mil. Kind of hard to say because at the end, I don't really know how much I made because I spent a ton on Herbler, and it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, we are able to get some final last kills here, and I had so much fun making this video. And for a part 3 of this video, I was thinking I could go all the way up to the Harmonized Orb, the Volatile Orb, and the Imbued Heart to make it so we can fully use this potential on this account. I definitely wanted to get into that and see if I could show you guys in the next video, if it was possible, if I could take this series from, 30, 40 mil from wherever I'm at, all the way into like 200 mil. It'd be a lot more PKing, a lot less account training, and I think it'd be fun for you guys. So if you guys drop 500 likes on this video, I will release a 3rd part of this. And if you guys enjoyed, feel free to drop a sub. I'm almost at like 10k subs, which is like a huge goal I never thought I'd hit. So thank you guys, and bye.